Good morning, my dear beloved student. I am Dr. Imu Ghosh, Assistant Professor Physiology, Adin Sukina Women's Medical College. Today I am going to deliver the lecture regarding the topics, that is the lung volume and capacities. It is an important topics in respiratory physiology. This term of the lung volume and capacity comes several times in several definition and several topics. So, today I will discuss about the lung volume and capacity. So, first of all the lung volume, it is a capacity. Capacity means the container. It is a sum of volume. Okay. So, first the name of the lung volume and capacity. Then there are 4 volume and 4 capacity. The name of the 4 volume is the tidal volume, inspiratory reserve volume, expiratory reserve volume and residual volume. And there are 4 capacity, that is inspiratory capacity, vital capacity, functional residual capacity and total lung capacity. These are 4 volume and 4 lung capacity. You have to memorize it very sincerely, very carefully. Okay. It is a very important topics in respiratory physiology. Okay. So, for it can be measured, this lung volume and capacities can be measured by a process that is called spirometry, by a process that is called spirometry, and the instrument that is used for measurement of this lung volume and capacity is the spirometer. And on which paper, how this can be plotted in us, this measurement, this lung volume and capacities can be plotted in a graph that is called spirogram. Today I will show that spirogram later on. Okay. So, where this lung volume and capacities can be measured by spirometer, and the process of measurement of this lung volume and capacities are called spirometry, and the graph where this volume and capacities can be plotted is called spirogram. Okay. You have a clear idea about this spirometer and spirogram. We will show, you will learn from the practical classes. Okay. But there is an exception, that is all lung volume and capacities cannot be measured by this spirometer. The volume that cannot be measured by the spirometer is the residual volume, functional residual capacity and total lung capacity. So, residual volume can be measured by other method that are called nitrogen breath test, helium breath test. Okay. Nitrogen breath test, helium breath test. By this breathing test we can measure the remaining this residual volume. By measuring the residual volume we can measure the functional residual capacity and total lung capacity. Okay. So, next point is the definition with the normal value. It is very important. All the lung volume and capacities are very important for both for oral examination, also for the written examination. Okay. First point is the volume is the tidal volume. What is tidal volume? It is the volume of air inspired or expired in each normal breath. The amount of air that can be breathed out in each normal breath is called tidal volume. That is normal, and you are taking in quiet breathing. No, you are not aware of it, but you are taking in air and also leaving the air from the lung. This volume is how much? It is about 500 ml. It is about 500 ml. So, this is tidal volume. And then inspiratory reserve volume. It is the maximum by extra volume of air that can be inspired over and above the normal tidal volume with the forceful inspiration. So, a maximum amount of air that can be inspired above or beyond the normal tidal volume by forceful inspiration is called inspiratory reserve volume. That is that you can take in how much maximum you can take the air within the lung, that is the inspiratory reserve volume. So, what is the volume of the inspiratory reserve volume? It is about 3000 ml. It is about 3000 ml. Okay. And next volume is the expiratory reserve volume. Okay. So, it is the maximum or extra volume of air that can be expired by forceful expiration after the end of the normal tidal expiration. So, normal expiration, if you move out all the air that remain in the lung forcefully, that is called forceful expiratory reserve volume, the volume of the 1100 ml. So, you have got already 3 volume, that is tidal volume, inspiratory reserve volume, expiratory reserve volume, and now the next last volume is the residual volume. So, residual means it will remain within the lung, no? How, when it will remain? After forceful expiration. So, definition of the residual volume is the volume of air that remaining in the lung after most forceful expiration. After most forceful expiration, the air is remaining in the lung. The remaining air within the lung is called residual volume. The amount of the residual volume is the 1200 ml. Amount of the residual volume, how much? It is 1200 ml. You have already got the 3-4 volume, okay? That is the tidal volume, inspiratory reserve volume, expiratory reserve volume, and last point is the residual volume, okay? Now, the capacities, I have already told that the capacities are nothing but it is the summation of all volumes, no? So, if you add 1 or 2 or 3 volume, you will get these capacities, okay? So, what are the capacity I have told? That inspiratory capacity, functional residual capacity, vital capacity, and total lung capacity. So, what is inspiratory capacity? It is nothing but the capacity, the amount of air a person can breathe and distend in the lung to the maximum amount. So, that I have told you, that is a forcefully that you can take in the air within the lung. What are the volume that can be summit? That is the tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume. If you summit this tidal volume with the inspiratory reserve volume, you will get how much? That is 3500 ml, 3500 ml. So, it is the inspiratory capacity, it is the inspiratory capacity, the vital capacity. It is nothing but it is the maximum amount of air that can be that a person can expire forcefully after most forceful inspiration. The amount of air, vital capacity, what is? It is very important that it is within the definition, it is within the name it is saying that vital. Vital means it is important, no? This definition is very important. So, what is vital capacity? It is the maximum amount of air that can be expired forcefully after most forceful inspiration. Okay. So, this is the vital capacity. So, what is vital capacity? If I show this, the amount of air that can be expired forcefully after forceful inspiration. You are taking forceful inspiration and you are giving out air with the most forceful expiration. So, what the volume that we summated here, that is the tidal volume, inspiratory reserve volume, and expiratory reserve volume. If you summate this volume, you will get how much? That is the 4600 ml, that is 4600 ml. This is the vital capacity. The importance of this vital capacity, I have already told you that vital capacity may varies. It may varies according to the age, sex, or body surface area, and there are important, give some important information regarding so many factors. Okay. So, what are the importance of vital capacity? It indicates the efficacy of the act of ventilation, whether the ventilation is working properly or not, that is given by information by the vital capacity. Okay. And the next point is that it is the important, one of the important lung function test. I have told you, no, it is regarding as an important lung function test. It is a bedside test in pulmonology for detection of the lung disease. Okay. And it is giving an idea about the strength of the respiratory muscle. As you know, the respiratory muscle, there are diaphragm and the external intercostal muscle. These muscle are working whether properly or not, that can be given by the this vital capacity. This information can be given by the vital capacity. Okay. And the factor that will determine the vital capacity are the strength of the contraction of the respiratory muscle. If the strength is more, it is directly proportional. If the strength of the muscle is more, then the vital capacity will be more. If the muscle contraction is weak, then the vital capacity will be weak. And lung compliance, I have already told you about regarding the lung compliance. It is the stretchability of the lung. No, more the stretchability, more will lung inflate and more will lung expand the air. No, so if lung compliance increases, it is also increases the vital capacities. It is also directly proportional. Okay. And airway resistance, as you know, resistance means airway, the inflow of air can be resisted by airway resistance. So, it is inversely proportional. If airway resistance increase due to some disease condition or due to some factors, that will decreases vital capacity. So, it is inversely proportional with the vital capacity. I have already told you the vital capacity may varies. Now, what are the factors that affecting or varies the vital capacity are the sex, body surface area, posture, and body building. So, sex, according to the sex, male has more vital capacity than female, as because they have a more body surface area. So, a body surface area it also directly proportional. Okay, posture. In sitting position, the vital capacity is more than the lying condition. As you know, in lying condition, the diaphragm will push upward. So, there will be lung cannot inflate properly. So, in sitting position, the diaphragm will push downward, and that will causes increasing of the vital capacity. So, this is all about the up to the vital capacity. Today up to this, thank you very much.